welcome back to the Winner Circle. I'm Cody. Unfortunately, we are not joined by Derek today. He had a scheduling conflict, but Miesha, Derek wanted to say congratulations and welcome to the Big Brother family.
Thank you so much. It feels good to be out of the house, and I'm just trying to take it all in. I mean, I don't know if you have any tips or recommendations for the first 24 to 48 hours after you leave the house, but it feels like a bit of sensory overload to me right now.
So I'll tell you this, and I appreciate you asking that. A lot of red wine and sleep.
Perfect. Yes.
So,
those are two things that I think could definitely be in order for me.
So that was me. I got home. I flew home on the flight. I was like, please just bring me red wine as much as possible. I got home. I was like, I want another glass. And then I was like, I'm going to sleep tomorrow and just kind of like try to shake this. Cause I didn't like the cloud that you're talking about. It's like this clouded feeling. It's like sensory overload. And I hated that. I didn't like that. I felt like I didn't have control of my own like body and thoughts. And I was like, this is weird. Yeah, it's because you played a hard game. You did a great job. Thank you.
It really was. Sometimes in that house, I felt like I was moving through water. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't feel normal right now. And then it's, sensory overload when you get out. It's quite the opposite.
I would say it's those lights too. Not a lot of people understand the bright lights that they put you under, and you don't have access to the outside. Yeah, that is huge.
Daylight. Yeah,
it just don't have natural light.
Like sick. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I left the house and I was like, I feel lethargic and not very good. So I will be absorbing some rays today. That's for sure.
There you go. That's all that matters. So diving into it, what were your expectations before we get into talking about how incredible of a game you played? What were the expectations you had before going in? And now that you played it, were those met, or if they're different, let us know how.
My gosh, I feel honestly so naive about going into the game. And in truth, I got the offer to do the show just a matter of weeks before. So I didn't have a lot of time, and I'm, busy mom. And I was trying to watch just the celebrity seasons as I ride my exercise bike, just trying to get it. So I wasn't very privy to how this game was played. I went in thinking, look, the physically fit people have the most obvious target when you just walk in through the door. You're going to be noticed for being physically fit. I was like, there's no hiding that for me. So what do I do about it? And I thought, well, maybe if I could get the other physically fit people like to kind of stick together so that we don't gun each other down, just, knowing that we have the first target until the game starts to unfold and people can see the strengths that other people have. That maybe that's a good idea at first. So I did try to implement that. It didn't work out in the way that I thought it was going to work out. Hence Big Brother. But that was my initial thought going into it was, let's try to get the athletes to stick together.
Yeah. And I think you didn't even have to watch a lot of the season to understand that does happen. Almost every regular season, there's the athletic build. And a lot of times the athletic people kind of go into competitions in the early part and win. And that puts a big target on their back. You did a great job of winning that first HOH and surrounding yourself with people that really, one, trusted you and also wanted to protect you. And so kudos to you.
Protected by me too.
Exactly.
That's another thing too, is like I think they wanted to wait, let me stay the big target, but be kind of shielded behind me, work with me until the point when they felt like they could get me out. But then I think it was too late.
Yeah. I mean, exactly right. You almost had that scare tactic of like, I don't know if I can go after Miesha because, and I'll read it off. You had 4 HOH wins and 2 veto wins. That terrifies people in the house because they're like, if we go for her, we have to make sure she doesn't get to play and compete because she'll probably win. And that scare tactic is huge and it went in your favor.
Yes, absolutely. And I really decided, I figured out in the game that I had to lean into that because after I won my first HOH, I was like, the target on my back has got to be as big as this Big Brother house right now. It's just massive. I'm clearly the #1 target in here. But I also had the power. So I was like, well, I've got to try to maintain as much power as I can and sort of use I don't want to say scare tactic, but just like the presence. I've realized my presence, I needed to lean into that people might be a little intimidated to like come after me. So they're like, maybe we'll just lay low and work with her until we can get her. And then they kind of all helped me take out the other bigger targets in the house. And then I felt I was starting to understand the game a little bit better then. And I was kind of surprised, even myself, if I might say, how I did on more of the mental comps. That was, I didn't know how I was going to do in that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the last competition that you won, that competition is very difficult. And for Todrick, who was a super fan, I would have thought he would have studied more and known that. And you went in and you won that one as well. So you really did. You were very well rounded, and also you were looked up to by a lot of the house guests. And they looked at you as a straight shooter, which was like, all right, well, Miesha, we know what we're getting with her. She's competitive, but she's also like not going to lie to us. She's not going to backstab us. And that also went in your favor too. You just had a great presence in there that people kind of wanted protection from, but also were scared to go after you. And it was like, well, we were watching the whole season like, Miesha's going to win this easy. Like Miesha's going to the end. Miesha's in the end. She's easily winning it. Because we were seeing a lot of the stuff on the outside, but we're not going to get into any of that. You and Todrick had a really good duo. I think you guys complement each other. Just talking about game wise, not getting into any of the other stuff. Game wise, you two complement each other in a very good way because his social aspect kind of helped and benefited you, where your physical and your competition aspect helped him. Did you think that was going to be the case when you went into it with him on that? Because you guys linked up day one. It was like immediate.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a, looking at it, it was a bit of an opposites attract in that dimension. And certainly I realized I did know that I needed somebody with a stronger social game, because I already knew that about myself. I mean, I'm not a recluse, but I am not a social butterfly either. Much of the time in my normal life, I like to just fly solo. I don't typically engage in all this drama and back and forth. And also, I was up in that HOH room for 10 days the first time around. So I didn't really have a grasp and understanding of what was going on downstairs in all the other bedrooms and the alliances that were being formed. And I knew I did need somebody who was going to be able to fill me in on that. And that I do think for those reasons throughout the game, we did complement each other. Well, made a well-rounded team.
Yeah. And it was crazy because the game was so sped up. Like every week you had 2 HOHs, an eviction, 2 evictions. And it was crazy. Like, how do you navigate that when the game is like, for us, we had only one a week, 1 HOH, full 7 days, then the eviction, and the same week, the next week. What was it like navigating that sped up version of Big Brother that not a lot of people get to see other than a celebrity season?
Well, I didn't know that. I knew that you guys were in there for 90 days. And I thought, heaven help me if they tried to have me be in here for 90 days, because I don't know how you guys did that. No way. No, I couldn't have done it. So I guess I only knew what I experienced, and I really didn't think that you guys about that, the fact that you guys had so much more time and a slowed down version. But I was actually happy. I was probably the most down and just kind of down in the dumps and sad and like feeling lonely and lethargic on the days when we didn't have anything to do. I hated those days. So I'm glad that we had a sped up version. If we could have competed every day, I would have been petitioning for that. Yeah,
well, because you're an athlete. I mean, you're the best at what you do. And so how like one speed is just, today I'm training, there's no days off. So you know how to take that. And so now you're in a game where you're like, well, let me sit down and relax. Now I have to talk to everybody, because you don't get alone time. If you try to get alone time, everybody's like, oh my God, what's wrong, Miesha? Is something okay? Are you bothered by something? And you're like, no, I literally just need like 10 minutes, please.
Yeah, just get out of my face for a second, please. Like
that's the hard part.
Yeah,
but you navigated it well. No, but you never rubbed anybody the wrong way. They never. It would only, the only reason why people would have targeted you was because they would have been like, I highly doubt I can beat her. That was the only thing that came at you, which is, it's a good thing. You were a straight shooter, and it showed at the end when you got all the votes. It was like, okay, that type of game is the one that people have a little bit more respect for, or will vote to win, because you're handing people money at the end of the day. And some people, I mean, it's less or more to whoever's in there, but I thought you did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just thought, you know what, maybe people will respect the concept of make a deal with the devil, and not the one you don't. I think I said that in the show, and it's like, at least with me, you knew what you were getting. If I told you something, I meant it. And I leaned into that too. That's like, if I told you I was coming for you, you knew it.
Come for you.
And I, was hoping you'd lose a few winks of sleep over it. You know what I mean? Like
that mentality has been lost a little bit. Like it's a whole nother psychological mentality.
Yeah, and it's very much used in fighting.
Yeah.
We definitely try to play a little bit of the mental warfare in that, we are very confident in what we do. Where, people are like, oh, sometimes they try to ask us, are you afraid? And I'm like, that is such a weird word to ask a fighter, because I just don't think we have the fear sensory like most people do. We're not afraid of like getting hit in the face. We're not afraid of this. We just want to go out there and accomplish and conquer. And that's kind of the mentality I had to bring into the show as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you did a great job. Last final question for anybody that's going to go in, because now you're the champ. You're in a small group. You're the champ of Celebrity Big Brother, but we call you're in the winner circle now. That's what our podcast is called. You're a winner. So you're the winner circle.
Love it. I love
What
it.
would you say to somebody that's going into the house? If you're going to give them advice, what advice would you give to somebody about to enter the Big Brother house?
Oh my gosh. Well, if it was in regards to gameplay and gameplay only, I would say try to find somebody who complements your game and try to align with them, because I don't think it's not very easy, or at least it wasn't in my step, to be entirely well-rounded and strong in every aspect. So you definitely need to build, and you need to try to build a team around you at first, and continue to strategize to survive week by week or day by day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great point. You need somebody. That's why Derek and I, unfortunately, couldn't be here. Him and I complement each other perfectly. I had that competitive aspect and social, and he was just such a strategical genius that we complemented each other perfectly. And we both went to the end together, which is the same thing you and Todrick had.
Right.
Yeah, I thought you did a great job. Congratulations. Welcome to the winner's circle, and welcome to the Big Brother family.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And cheers to that.
Yeah, thank you.